fans have been waiting, I think, for this revival pretty much since February 2020. They're ready to dive back into the world of the BAU. Were you equally excited and ready to revisit this character?
Absolutely. I'm ready for Eddie. I mean, I didn't know it was going to happen. None of us were, when the show ended 2.5 years ago, our feeling was, okay, I guess this is it. Uh, Time well spent. Love doing it. Love the people. But look, I've been in this business for many, many years, and so I know what it's like. That sometimes you just got to lay something down and move on to the next. But to be given the treat of the blessing of getting another run around the track with it has been great. And I really think it is an evolution. I really think we're taking it, which was a very successful show that told good stories. I think we are taking it to another level, which has been rewarding as an actor to do.
So when we see Rossi at the beginning of this season, he's not in a great place. He's dealing with some stuff. What can you
Mhm.
tell us about where he's at when we see him again for the first time, and maybe a little bit about his journey this season?
Well, just like you said, he's not in a great place, but then why shouldn't it be? I mean, there's a cartoon I like that's just two frames, and one is this little caveman looking up to the sky saying, "God, why are you doing this to me?" And then the voice of God says, "Why not?" And it's like, and I think it's a little of that. It's like life isn't perfect. Why should it be perfect for these particular people and this particular individual of David Rossi specifically? And so so my feeling is it's not a matter of how knocked down he is, but how soon or in what capacity is he going to get up, you know?
Mhm.
And that's the journey that he's initially on when we joined the show again. And I think that's realistic. And I think the fact that we are being able to do it in a streaming venue and be able to show things in a very realistic way, even in terms of language, in terms of the
Mhm.
look, in terms of all of it, that I think that is taking it to another level and makes for good storytelling. So,
Yeah, it definitely seems like it's a little grittier. Like you said, you mentioned the language than compared to the
yeah,
broadcast network
and
version.
and that's what it is. I mean, that's always been the difference between, look, I've been going to Europe for many, many years, and I'd see stuff in Europe 30 years ago that we still aren't doing on network television. And it's like, are we just that more, naive or dumb in America that we can't handle it? So I think it's about time we're able to tell these stories, as realistically as we are now.
And then one last question. You've played this character, I think, for 13 seasons, if I'm correct. I'm curious what, if anything, you've learned from him over the years.
Wow, that's a good question. You know what? I think I purposely embraced much of who I am in the character right from the jump, and I was given some early advice that was wise in that respect of, like, if you get a character that you might do for many, many years, like on a TV series, try to bring in a lot of aspects of who you are to it, because then you'll have things to draw upon. And so it was no accident that I made this character an Italian American, which I
Mhm.
am, so that I can even draw on personal aspects of who I am and things that I, from even from a child to an adulthood, that I can incorporate. So in terms of what I've learned from the character, I think it's a two-way street. I mean, hopefully I've learned things from doing this role, and then hopefully this character has absorbed aspects of who I am, and that's what creates hopefully a character that people find interesting, wanting to see as part of this show.